everybody stand? Can someone from the class will lead the prayer? In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good morning, class. You may take your seat. Class monitor, can you check the attendance of the class? Thank you. Last meeting, I gave you an assignment. Am I right, class? Okay, so kindly put it out now because you'll be needing that for today's discussion, and later on, I am going to check that. Alright, so do you still remember our discussion last meeting, class? So what was all about? Very good! That was all about the navigation of Ferdinand Magellan across the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. As a review, a short recap. How many ships were Magellan used for that expedition? Very good! 5 ships. And what are the names of those 5 ships? Exactly! That's Victoria, Trinidad, Concepcion, Santiago, and San Antonio. So for now, class, I will be showing to you a music video of the song Magellan of Yoyoy Villame. Do you familiar with that song already? Familiar or not familiar, you're encouraged to watch this video presentation. And remember, class, you need to pay attention and be a keen observer of this music video because this is part of our activity later. So enjoy watching the video.
On March 16, 1521, when Philippines was discovered by Magellan, they were sailing day and night across the big ocean until they saw a small Limasawa Island. Magellan landed in Limasawa at noon. The people met him very welcome on the shore. They did not understand the speaking they have done because Castilla get at waray-waray man. When Magellan landed in Cebu City, Raha Humabon met him, they were very happy. All people were baptized and built the Church of Christ, and that's the beginning of our Catholic life. When Magellan visited in Mactan to Christianize them everyone, but Lapu-Lapu met him on the shore and dragged Magellan to go back home. Then Magellan got so mad, ordered his men to come up lads. Mactan Island we could not grab, cause Lapu-Lapu is very hard. Then the battle began at dawn, bolos and spears versus guns and cannons. When Magellan was hit on his neck, he stumbled down and cried and cried, "Oh mother, mother, I am sick. Call the doctor very quick. Doctor, doctor, shall I die? Tell my mama do not cry. Tell my mama do not cry. Tell my mama do not cry." That's the end of Magellan in the island of Mactan long time ago, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you enjoy watching the music video, class? Very good! So what do you think will be our topic for today's discussion? Philippine history? It could be. Another answer. Magellan versus Lapu-Lapu? It could be also, but before I will tell you the correct answer, let me show to you some picture and which are very related, very relevant to our topic today. And in every picture, I will be asking to you question. Then for you to answer my question, you will be referring to answers from your assignment. Did you understand, class? Alright, so let's start now. For the first picture, this is Ferdinand Magellan. And do you know who was Ferdinand Magellan? Very good. Ferdinand Magellan was a Portuguese explorer who navigated under the flag of Spain, and he discovered Philippine Islands last March 16, 1521. Another picture. This is Lapu-Lapu. And do you know about Lapu-Lapu? Very good. Lapu-Lapu was a brave chieftain of Mactan who refused to pay or give tax to Magellan and to be ruled over by the power of Spain. So he fought against Ferdinand Magellan. Alright, so how about this one? The third picture, the image of Señor Santo Niño. Correct! This is the image of Señor Santo Niño, where Ferdinand Magellan gave this one to the wife of Raja Humabon, the chieftain of Cebu, after they were baptized. So in giving of Santo Niño, it is a sign of embracing the Catholic faith and the Christian life. How about this one? Another picture. This is the first mass of Lima Sawa. Correct! That was the first mass that took place in the Philippine archipelago, and it is believed that happened in Limasawa Island. How about this one? The last one. The Battle of Mactan. Do you know about it? Exactly. That was the battle that happened in Mactan Island, where Magellan and some of his men were killed by Lapu-Lapu and his men. So, always remember those, class? Magellan, Lapu-Lapu, Santo Niño, the first mass of Limasawa, and the Battle of Mactan for your better understanding of our discussion. So, our lesson for today, class, is all about Magellan's expedition discovering Philippine Islands. So, for today's discussion, here's our objectives. At the end of the lesson, learners are expected to A. Discuss how the expedition of Ferdinand Magellan discovered Philippine Islands. Letter B. Analyze the context, content, and perspectives of the chronicle written by Antonio Pigafetta. Letter C. Appreciate and value the heroic deeds of Lapu-Lapu and his men in the Battle of Mactan. And letter D. Make a critique to the song entitled Magellan of Yoyoy Villame. So are you ready for our discussion, class? Alright, so let's start now. After Magellan crossed the Atlantic Ocean, they traveled Pacific Ocean for 4 months. On March 16, 1521, they saw some islands, and Ferdinand Magellan named those islands as Archipelago of Saint Lazarus, because that day was the birthday of that saint, which is Saint Lazarus. So remember, March 16, 1521. First, they landed in Homonhon Island of Eastern Samar, where they gathered some foods to eat because they were got hungry after their travel, their journey of the vast wide ocean, which was the Pacific Ocean. After in Homonhon, they continued traveling until they reached another island named Limasawa, where Raja Colombo, the chieftain of Limasawa, welcomed and offered friendship with Magellan, and they had a blood compact, a sign of having a friendship. And you know, class, the blood compact between Raja Colombo and Ferdinand Magellan was the first blood compact between a native and a foreigner. So imagine how significant that event in our history. So after hearing that Raja Colombo had a foreigner visitors, other kings or chieftains or datos from neighboring areas of Limasawa also offered some foods to the Spaniards. So in return, Spaniards also gave them a bell, red cups, mirrors, combs, and ivories as exchange for the kindness of the native, because Filipinos were known as hospitable people. You understand, class? Very good. So, during the Magellan's expedition, there was a writer named Antonio Pigafetta who was responsible for writing or documenting all the events that happened in their journey, especially when they arrived in the Philippine archipelago. So Pigafetta wrote those events during the entire journey of Magellan. And the Chronicle of Antonio Pigafetta served as the primary source in his studying our history, particularly at that time. So imagine without Antonio Pigafetta's work, so probably we could not have a basis of studying our history during the discovery of Philippine Islands by Ferdinand Magellan. So the work of Antonio Pigafetta is very important in studying our history. So according from the Chronicle of Antonio Pigafetta, on Easter Sunday on March 31, 1521, there was a first mass that took place in Limasawa, attended by Magellan and Raja Colombo and the natives in the place. But class, until now, the exact location of the first mass still debatable by historians, but they are united that was an event that took place that really changed the faith and the belief system of the natives, which is still existing until now, which is our Christian faith. Days after the mass, Magellan continued their travel until they landed the island of Cebu, where Raja Humabon met him very happy, that's according from the song, and they became friends. That was on April 7, 1521. So days after April 7, 1521, that was April 14, 1521, Raja Humabon, together with his wife and the 800 natives of Cebu, were baptized and converted into Christians. At that day also, Raja Humabon got his new name as Don Carlos, derived from the King of Spain, which Magellan gave to him. Then, at that day also, Magellan gave the image of Señor Santo Niño to the wife of Raja Humabon as his gift and as a sign of embracing the Catholic faith and a Christian life. So the image of Santo Niño was a gift and a sign of embracing the Catholic faith and the Christian life. So always remember that, class. As we notice, class, all leaders, all chieftains, all datos in the places where Magellan visited accepted and offered friendship with him. But except Lapu-Lapu, the chieftain of Mactan. Why? Because Lapu-Lapu refused to give tax or tribute to Magellan and to be ruled over by the power of Spain. So Lapu-Lapu refused to be under of Spain. After hearing this refusal, Magellan got so mad. She got angry. So he decided to go to Mactan to fight Lapu-Lapu. But on April 27, 1521, Ferdinand Magellan was killed during the Battle of Mactan because his shoulder and his knee was hit with an arrow with a poisonous substance. He was stabbed until he died. Upon looking at this man that Magellan was killed, they tried to escape to save their lives. So in the Battle of Mactan last April 27, 1521, Lapu-Lapu and his men showed their heroic deeds as the first Filipinos who resisted colonialism. So Lapu-Lapu, that's why Lapu-Lapu and his men are considered as the first Filipino heroes who fought, or who resisted against colonialism. The events from Humunhon, Limasawa, in Cebu, in Mactan, all documented from the eyewitness named Antonio Pigapita, who make a chronicle about the journey of Magellan. So what we are talking today, what we are studying today about the discovered Philippine Islands were credited to the work of Antonio Pigafetta, the chronicler, the writer who wrote all the details about the Magellan expedition, especially in discovering Philippine Islands. You understand, class? Very good. So if you understand, can someone from the class will sum up our discussion for today? Very good. Very well said. Okay. I know, class, that you often hear the common saying, everything happened with a purpose. Is this an accidental discovery of the Philippines? But the discovery of Philippine Island was accidental by Ferdinand Magellan, because Magellan was not aiming to go to our country, because supposed to be he aimed to go to Moluccas Island, the Spice Islands, but accidentally he discovered our country. Do you think that this accidental discovery had its own purpose? And what would be? Anyone from the class? Yes, very well said. So probably the main purpose, or the purpose of this accidental discovery, could be the Christian faith. Because nowadays, the Philippines is known as the largest population are Christians. So without Magellan, probably at that time there would be no conversion to Catholic or to Christian faith. So that's probably the purpose of Magellan accidental discovery in the Philippine Islands. Alright. So for now, I will be dividing the class into 4 groups. In every group, you will choose a reporter who will report your output, the result of your brainstorming of the given question. So here's the given question. If you are Antonio Pigafetta, what event of Ferdinand Magellan expedition, especially in discovering the Philippine Islands, will you put an emphasis in writing a story, in writing your chronicle? And in what way also you make your work credible and reliable to the readers? How will you make your work trusted to your readers of your work? So do you understand the question? Alright, so your work, your output will be graded with the following criteria. Content of the work at 50%, the delivery 15%, the ability to answer the question, that's 15% also, and the unity of the group 20%, in a total of 100%. After 10 minutes, the recording will start. So kindly do it now. Did you understand, class? Any questions? Clarifications? Okay, none. So kindly go to your group now. Okay, kindly go back to your proper seat now. Alright, so thank you, class, for your cooperation for the success of our group activity today. And I think that in every reports of every reporters could be my basis that you really understand what we are discussing today about the topic Magellan's Expedition Discovering Philippine Islands. So I hope that you will instill in your minds on what to be learned from today's discussion. So for now, can you get 1/4 sheet of paper because we will be having a very short quiz about on what we discussed today. Alright, so for the test 1 identification, just write or answer directly on what is being asked by the question. I will be reading the question twice, then you will answer now. Number 1. What was the name of our country given by Ferdinand Magellan? Again, what was the name of our country given by Ferdinand Magellan? Number 2. Who was the writer documented the entire expedition of Ferdinand Magellan? Again, who was the writer who documented the entire expedition of Magellan? Number 3. What was the sign of friendship between Raja Colombo and Ferdinand Magellan? So what do you call that? What do you call the sign of friendship between Raja Colombo and Ferdinand Magellan? Number 4. When did the Battle of Mactan happen? When did the Battle of Mactan happen? And number 5, where did the first mass took place? Where did the first mass took place? Alright, okay, so that's for the first part. And for the second part, an essay type of test. So you will write your answer below the answer from test 1. Then in 3 to 5 sentences, you will explain your answer to the question, what if Lapu-Lapu and his men did not fight against Ferdinand Magellan and the Spaniards? Shall we consider them as our heroes today? Why or why not? Again, what if Lapu-Lapu and his men did not fight against Magellan and the Spaniards? Shall we consider them as our heroes today? Why or why not? So in answering your essay, class, so kindly consider the criteria in checking your work. Alright, so kindly pass your answer. Can I submit your answer now? Because I will be the one who will check your answer. Alright, thank you. So now we will try to answer the questions. Number 1. What was the name of our country given by Ferdinand Magellan? Very good. Archipelago of Saint Lazarus. Number 2. Who was the writer documented the entire expedition of Magellan? Correct. Antonio Pigafetta. Number 3. What was the sign of friendship between Raja Colombo and Ferdinand Magellan? Exactly, that's a blood compact. Blood compact is the correct answer. Number 4. When did the Battle of Mactan happen? When did the Battle of Mactan happen? Correct. Last April 27, 1521. Last number. Where did the first mass took place? Where did the first mass took place? Very good. In Limasawa Island. Limasawa Island is the correct answer. Okay, for the easy part, who want to volunteer to answer? Anybody in the class? Alright, so from the question, what if Lapu-Lapu and his men did not fight against Magellan? Shall we consider them as our heroes today? Why or why not? Okay, very well said. Another answer. Okay, you have the point. So anyways class, that's your own opinions. I will be the one who will check that answer. So for your assignment class, listen to the song Magellan of Yoyoy Villame. So I already presented to you the song Magellan, the music video, and if you want to hear it again, to watch it again, so you can download it from or watch it in YouTube. Then after watching the video or hearing the music, cite the relevance or the importance of that song to the topic that we are discussing today. So the importance, what is the importance of the song to the topic that we are discussing today? Then make also a critic to the song according on its accuracy based on the facts that I discussed a while ago. So write your answer in an essay form. Then consider, in making your output, consider the criteria in the board, because this will be my guide in checking your answers. And you will submit it in the next meeting. You understand, class? Alright. So any questions, clarifications from the class? Okay, none? None so far? So kindly arrange your chairs. And everybody stand for the closing prayer. Can someone from our class will lead the prayer? In the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Goodbye and thank you, class. Stay safe and God bless everyone.